Hey there, it's been a while, and I'm glad that I finally had the time to do a quick video. Now, this will not be a long video, it's not going to be a quality video, guaranteed we're going to get some quality videos in the channel soon, but I wanted to leave you with this, because we've been talking about inflation, about prices, about the job market, all that stuff within the last few months. And you know me, I'm a pretty entrepreneurial guy. If it's the first time that you're tuning in, my name is Thomas. I will not dive into all that I did in the past right now. That's not the topic of this video. That's something that will be coming in the channel in the future, but I just wanted to leave you, my dear follower, my dear viewer, a bit of an update and a bit of good news to you, because it's easy to beat inflation, it's easy to be inflation proof, and right now I'm into a lot of big stuff. I may have not had the time to do new videos because I've been doing some big purchases. We might potentially be opening a new large office in another city. I actually did a big acquisition in asset category that I'll share with you more, a double down of a position that I already had. And I want to speak with you about how to beat inflation, because if you live in Europe, and a lot of my viewers, my friends, live in Europe, and not even my viewers, my friends, a lot of my friends are actual real friends. Most of my friends live in Europe, many in Portugal, and they struggle with inflation, the price of goods rising, the cost of everything rising, whatever, everything rising. And how do you beat that? Well, there's a couple ways that you can beat that. There's the way that you beat inflation, undoubtedly, and you will be rewarded for inflation, and there's the way that you will use inflation as an advantage for yourself, for your investments, for your assets. Well, let's start in parts. So how do you beat inflation as a person? Very simple. You just gotta keep leveling up. You know why? Because when there are periods of high inflation, the winners, the big guys, the big boys, eat the weak boys, the small boys, and the small fry. And what do I mean by this? It sounds a bit ruthless. It is a bit ruthless. That's how the real world works. But if you want to be inflation proof, all you gotta do is keep on leveling up your skills. Now, I'm pretty excited right now because I'm doing a lot of investments. I literally just bought the best microphone there is. I believe so, at least according to a friend of mine that does a lot of money regarding videos, and so I believe he's the right person to speak about this. I am doing a lot of investments now. You know why? Because right now it's the time where most people got a bit worried, a bit like that, and they're on vacation, they're worried, this and this, that, and this is the perfect time for me to go grab some market share in my field. I was actually recording some videos for my company, that's why I'm wearing a suit, and that's why I am so pumped up right now, because I am ready to kick on, take some names and kick some ass, and I'm just shooting this video right now because one of the topics that I'm studying and thinking about a lot this past few weeks and this past few months really has been how to beat inflation with my investments. So you already heard the story that the best way to beat inflation is by leveling up yourself. So if you keep leveling up at the pace of the market or even faster, not only will you get paid the new rate, you're gonna get paid higher than the new rate, and you're gonna get more money proportionally and inflation adjusted than you would be getting in the past. So before talking about investments that beat inflation, blah blah blah, you gotta level up yourself, because you can earn $5,000 a month and put it aside and put it aside and put it aside, and you'll have a little bit of money, and if you invest it really well, you might beat inflation a little bit. But what if instead of making $5,000 a month, how about you make 50? How about you make 500? How about you start thinking real big? And I'm not making 500 grand a month, but I know some people who do, nothing further from that. And so I want to leave you thinking that maybe that's where your attention should be pointed. Not how do I save 5% on groceries, how do I add a zero to my income? And that's the kind of stuff that hopefully one day I'll be able to cover in this channel. I am not by any stretch of imagination a YouTuber as of right now, so I'm just here sharing some ideas and hopefully some cool vibes here with you, as I am excited to the future, and I hope you are too. And I want to leave you with some practical advice in terms of investments, because you're probably, even though you just heard this, you're probably super close to clicking on the video next to this one, saying that this is the class of assets, the investment, the whatever, that's gonna take extra money. And I'm gonna tell you, you will not take extra money with investments. You will not take extra money with investments unless you wait 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Probably closer to 50 than to 20. But if you want to put some money aside and you want to appease that curiosity of yours of what should I be buying to beat inflation and to be inflation proof, then my answer is going to be very clear cut, and I think you're going to like it, because it's not something just trying to give you an answer that's not really an answer. I'm going to give you a real answer, which is buy oil stocks, buy oil investments, quality oil investments, exploration rights to big oil wells that will be still pumping oil within the next 30, 40, 50 years. The Permian Basin, which is the case, the Salt Saudi Arabia somehow, some way, if you're in the kingdom, as they call it, you may be able to purchase Saudi Aramco. That may be a good company. Why? How did I make such a drastic curve? Why should you be buying oil? Very simple. Oil is the proven currency that has not only remained solid in terms of value, it's also decreased in supply. Now, you can buy gold, but gold does not decrease, gold does not increase, gold just stay there. If you can buy gym plates usually go up with inflation. They even go up a little bit more than inflation. But let me ask you, how much space do you need for gym plates? And more important than that, when will the supply decrease? And the answer is it will not. Now, if you ask me, what about the future? What about renewable energies? Let me tell you something. If you look at roads, asphalt cannot be made with good intentions and solar energy, and this is just being pragmatic. To be honest with you, I don't lean one way or the other in terms of it's good, but I am a big proponent that sometimes we gotta make a little bit of bad stuff to do a lot of good stuff, and oil and gas and natural gas and coal and all this stuff is part of it. Like, if you want a society that has technology where you can watch this video, when you can drive a car, you need those things. The society does not work without them. And then you tell me, oh, but you're running out. Yes. That's our mission or our duty as entrepreneurs, as problem solvers, as people that actually inherit the desires from the people that came before us, some great people that came before us. Our duty is to solve those problems. Those are problems to solve. The solution is not to stop using things. The solution is to create more things. And you know what? Creating more stuff is tough. And not only that, the reason I like oil a lot, it's not only tougher, it's probably going to be more expensive. If you want a solution, an alternative to oil, we'll probably find one. We will not stop making roads, but we're gonna build more expensive roads. And that's my point. Oil is the cheapest version of the product that we'll be producing in the future, and right now you can buy it for dirt cheap. I think the current price of oil is something like 60-70 barrels of oil. Dollars per barrel of oil. You can right now invest in some companies that are incredibly stable. Chevron, Exxon, you've got, I will not say Aramco or BP because I don't really hate government monopolies, and so I would stick with the American companies. But there's a lot of them, a lot of great ones, Oxy, whatever companies, and I will not give specific investment advice here, but I just want you to talk in that direction, because most people try to give you like non-answers, and I'm not allowed to give you non-answers. I tell you what I do, and I do what I do, and I've been making some big investments in this area, and this is an area I would recommend you looking towards. Just to give you a quick side story, and I'll finish this video with that. The richest man in Portugal, which, as you can probably tell, a bit of my well, not call it heroes, but my role models that I was able to look up to when I was growing up in Portugal were the big guys, the big companies. And the two richest guys in Portugal, they built, one built the largest supermarket chain, the other owned the largest oil company in the country. And if you notice, in most countries, especially most countries that are, let's call it mid-developed economies, the largest company is either the supermarket chain or the oil company. And I find that quite interesting, because the largest company 200 years ago was a company that you may have heard of called Standard Oil. Standard Oil was an oil company. It is the predecessor of all the oil companies that are in the US. If you want Standard Oil, you would currently have shares in most of the oil companies in the US. Now, this is not a promotional video for oil. I don't give oil. Like, I am not an investment advisor. Most investment advice in Portugal, both in Portugal and on YouTube, is terrible advice for people that have no money. I do not take advice from people that have less money than me, so I kind of stick away from and try to stay away from investment advice in YouTube. But if you want some advice for someone that I am not a multi-$10 million millionaire or something like that, I am not a billionaire by any stretch of imagination, but I've done some things right and I made some money within the last few years, and what I'm sharing with you is just be logical. You don't need to do some incredible, real well thought out stuff. You just need to not do dumb stuff. You just keep showing up, you keep improving yourself a little bit, that's how you beat inflation as a person, and then you make some investments on stuff that's really not possible to go down. Real estate is one example. Now, real estate, people say they're not printing any more real estate. That's true, but they're also not demolishing a lot of real estate. You can demolish a building, but most times when people demolish a building, build a bigger one. And so it's a market that is still increasing its supply, and it is not decreasing its supply and will not decrease its supply anytime soon. That's what worries me in real estate. I really like my real estate. I still think it's a great investment. If the property you're buying is stabilized, it makes sense to buy real estate. However, real estate is something more of an active investment than a passive investment, because if you want to make some real money, and it's funny I'm saying this right now, because in an office above my company, I will not state where our office is, but in the office above my company, there's a $300 million Portuguese company that does construction, and they build big apartment complexes. We're talking about tens, almost hundreds of units, and that's the kind of real estate you want to be buying and you want to be managing, because that's where you can make a big value in it. You buy something that's falling apart, you renew it, you put some tenants in, you do an increase in the value of the property, and then you sell it out, or you keep it with a very high return on capital employed, and you make some money. If you just want to buy and to hold, that's not really an investment. It's going to make you more money than just investing in very solid companies. And if you invest in very solid companies that are operating with resources that are valuable and that are getting depleted, I mean, there's really, in my opinion, very few things that can go wrong. As I said, we will keep on making roads in the future, but they're going to be more expensive, because once we don't have oil for asphalt, are gonna get really freaking expensive, because there's right now no solution. When I say this, obviously I am making a comparison here to many other products. I mean, I'm sure you like chewing gum. It's gonna be tough replicating that once there's no oil, and the same goes for a lot of other things. Will we still make the same things? We will. We'll find a way. Creative humans are very creative, and we always find a way. It's gonna be more expensive. So buy your supply of oil now before it gets more expensive. Obviously, these companies are too large, and the oil market is way too large for any single one of us to even influence a little bit. But I wanted to share this with you because I like sharing my thesis, and my thesis is a bit different from other people. Most people either are super conservative, buy stuff that's been around for 300 years, doing small percentage points in terms of returns, and be happy with that. And other people are like, I just want to tax, and it's gonna be buy Bitcoin. It's like terrible idea. But how about you buy something that's absolutely proven, that's guaranteed pretty much to give you those returns, but actually has this little bit of a chance of going so high, so gigantonomously up in terms of scarcity, in terms of value, in terms of if there's an oil shock, if there's a lack of supply, if there's a new need for oil and there's too little supply available, or if you just see that it's really gonna run out and we don't have any replacement. I mean, that can really bump up this kind of investment. So that's my thesis on it. Once again, I said, like, there's no way you buying oil can benefit me, there's no way you improving your skills can benefit me, but I think it's going to benefit you. So what I've been doing for the past few years, I made some money improving myself, I made some money investing in oil. In fact, every month I get a nice distribution, and I hope you make decisions that get you on a similar position. I hope you also keep on watching this video, because they're gonna get better. I'm working to get this video way better than they are currently, and you can see my English has actually improved a little bit, because once again, I am Portuguese, originally from Portugal, and so my English sometimes gets a little stuck and a little rusty, but I think I'm getting the gist of it. And so I hope I left you better than I found you with this video, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching.